Do you wish you were more confident in yourself? Well, today I'm going to share some pointers on how you can begin to do this. And if you stay until the end, I have an extra special point for you then as well. So I was reflecting on recent experiences in my life. And as I come up with new ideas, I like to share them with you. And I also like to reflect it in my journal and then write up all the things I sort of discovered about myself. And there's always a high level of self-awareness that I'm trying to develop. And I found I've got more and more self-awareness in the last year, in particular, as I've gone through challenges. And challenges can really bring out those levels of self-awareness because challenges can bring out insecurities at times. They can bring out self-doubt and things that perhaps really trigger you in certain feelings. And then I was going back and thinking about when in my life I've felt really good. And that's when I've been myself with people and in situations. So that was whether it was in dating, relationship, business, or career. When I did well, I was myself and I'd get results from that. Yes, you'd now and then need to take a bit of strategy from someone else and do something, but when I was more of myself and trying to be something else, that's when I got results. When I was less connected to who I am, that's when I felt down. That's when I felt lost. And it's easy to lose connection with ourselves because we live in a day and age, we've got such information coming at us, we lose track of who we are and what we want. People are filling our heads with their agendas. And there's also a lot of comparison, of course. So we're born ourselves, we're born who we are as we are. And along the way, we need certain approval from a young age. We need approval from our parents. Now they give it to us freely, if parents and guardians, in healthy, obviously, cases. They care for us, they love us as babies, they look after us. And then there comes an age, usually around 2 or 3 years old, where you do things, you make a mistake, they get angry at you. And then we start needing their approval a lot more. And then as we go through life, we learn stuff that people disapprove of certain things. We start taking that in. And depending on your experience and where you're from, it can impact how you shape yourself. I believe, though, there's always a real us inside ourselves. And the most happy, confident, charismatic people I know who are not coming from a place of ego, look at me, I'm so great, just trying to prove themselves to others because really they don't have great self-esteem. And self-esteem is how much you like yourself. When I've seen people who are genuinely themselves and they're on top, they're killing multiple areas of their lives, they're themselves, right? So how is it helping you by not being you? Well, if you're anything like me, it's frustrating when you hear different information, conflicting advice, and you try to be something you're not. Something goes wrong, so you try and pretend to be another person. When I've been myself, though, that's when I felt most alive, most happiest. So I want to go through some steps for you, how you can build confidence in being yourself now. The first thing to do is just take a bit of an inventory. If you're listening to this on the go, do this exercise later. But the first question you ask yourself as you write down, pen to paper, is when are you most alive? Who are you? And what are you doing? Like I know for me, it's when I'm being crazy and random and being silly, right? And sometimes I lose track of that. I remember as a kid, I used to run around like a maniac sometimes. I felt so alive. Yeah, when I'm stuck, when I'm quiet, when I'm trying to do a really hard task that isn't right for me, but obviously sometimes we have to do that, and trying to tell myself it's for me, then that's when I don't feel so good. So write down when you're most alive and what you're doing. Write a list. Write this list is the second step. Like have this list, create it. Create this list, put it somewhere you can see it every day. Read it is the next step. Just read it every day. Read it every single day so it gets familiar with you. And then the fourth thing, scheduling things when you can be more fully alive, when you can be more awake and aligned in life, and you can be more of you. So some of those things that really make you feel like you, and schedule them into your day. That's all I wanted to really share. Keep it very, very simple. Like I don't want to overcomplicate this. Keep it simple. Just know who you are when you're most alive, when you're feeling energetic, and schedule more of that in your day. And if you want my bonus exercise, what I really want to share with you is sit with yourself from minimum 5 minutes, ideally 10 minutes, and imagine you're talking to your inner child. And when I say inner child, if you're not familiar, I'm talking about talking to the 3-year-old version of you. What do they want? What, like when they were the most free? I'm closing my eyes as I'm saying this. Do this with me. What are they saying? What are they doing? Who are they when they're most alive and energetic? And then that's going to give you a bit of insight into what maybe you need to add more into your life again, so you can connect with you. Okay, so those are the points I really want to share in terms of actually mapping out things that make you feel most alive as well. And if you've still got the question, oh, what if I try and be me? Well, and you get judged. Well, you know, though, if you want to be liked by everyone, just go and hide in a cave, because there's always going to be someone who dislikes you. But obviously that's, you know, that's a very simple point. What I'd encourage you to do is just try small things, like trying to be yourself. If perhaps you want to speak up once, maybe just make one comment. Like, you can start small by being yourself if you're worried about showing it in front of other people. So that's what I've got for you today. I appreciate you for being here. You're improving other people's lives with being the best you. And remember, you're in control of your own self-esteem and confidence.